We're at the Louisville headquarters of readiness, the employee messaging and engagement platform. They're celebrating an incredible year, growing by thousands of users per month. Let's go inside and see what the buzz is about.
We are here to celebrate the growth of readiness, the growth of our employee base, our user base, our team members, and enterprise customers in really the first full year that we've been in market. So it's actually been a very productive and exciting year. A lot of these employers that we speak to today are still communicating to their employees like they did in the 1930s. So what we do primarily for these large employers is to allow them to communicate in real time about important information to their employee base for the first time ever in 2014-15. So it's pretty exciting.
With readiness, we reach people immediately. They know they've been reached, and we know they've been reached.
We have one particular customer who's in healthcare. It's Hospice. They're a local company here in Louisville who does home health care for hospice patients. They would text a nurse. That nurse would have to call back into the office, and then they could relay the patient information to them. The issue with that was the delay in getting back to people. So with readiness, because it's HIPAA compliant, they can send all the patient information directly in one message. So that's real time. And they calculated that it's saving them about an hour a day. So that comes out to them being able to potentially see one more patient every day because of the time that they're saving.
For me, as the CFO and owner of the company, it's security, knowing that it's HIPAA compliant and that we can communicate and get information back to our doctors that helps patients that we're caring for.
You know, the industries that we serve are typically retail, restaurant, hospitality, healthcare, and then large industrials. So predominantly, those kinds of companies have tens, hundreds, and thousands of non-desk working, often hourly, or very, very highly mobile employees. And so we actually enable those organizations to communicate, engage, and touch those employees. I think readiness provides a tremendous opportunity for engineers and innovators in the creative set that often have to travel to the coasts or to Austin, Texas, or to innovation centers to utilize the skill set that they want to incorporate into their careers. And what I love about being a mobile-first company and introducing a new communication paradigm to enterprises that have never had it before is that we're doing it right here from Louisville, Kentucky, in the middle of the country. And when you do that, you allow people who are coming up in the school systems or in the universities or are in other jobs that they might just be going in and getting handed a task list every day to try something new.
I mean, there are thousands of products out there right now, especially like external marketing, to let you know how many tweets, how many shares, and how many posts and all that. That's great for like external marketing, but there's never been anything really built to do that for internal comms. And so great set is we have all this big, massive database full of information, and so now we're trying to extract all that.
After finishing school at MIT, I worked for several startups in that area. I just really appreciate startup culture, and I was excited to find a place in Louisville where I would be able to participate in that.
The one thing that people don't talk about when they say you can't do that from Louisville is they forget about our access to the customer base. Really what drives readiness isn't about how much access you have to the engineers or how much access you have to working capital or how much access you have to other pockets of innovation, but really what the access is to the businesses. So what we try to do is solve problems for the enterprise that happen to be in our backyard right here. Once you start doing that, people start popping their heads up out of the woodwork and they find us, which we've been very fortunate for from the last couple of years we've been in business.
Typically on the coast of the U.S., that engineers and tech companies are solving a lot of consumer problems, and that's awesome. But in the Midwest, it's different. We have lots of big corporations and companies, and their problems are vastly different than what they solve in consumer tech on the coast. But conversely, we also know that people love using consumer tech. So we completely rethought about how do we give that employee, that non-desk, mobile-first employee, software that they actually want to use, and not just use today because they have to, but because they want to.
I think our opportunity around engineering and development is tremendous. We're not a one-stop shop for tech. We're not just web developers or mobile developers or platform developers or Ruby people or .NET people. We run the whole gamut, and so we have to run the whole gamut. We're on Android devices, we're on Kindle Fires, we're in web browsers, and so when you start checking off the boxes of all of the available devices that are out there and all of the available platforms, you need people that come from all different types of engineering backgrounds. And that's what we love about being here in this part of the country and having all those opportunities, is that really anybody can walk out of that door today or walk in our door today, and we've got a spot for them if they've got the chops to, contribute at a very high level to a company that's moving very quickly. So readyanp was formed about 3 years ago with the concept of building a private mobile communication product. As you know, we're in Louisville, Kentucky. We have limited access to large resources and pools of capital. However, we were managed to attract investors from California, New York, as well as our own backyard here in Louisville, and we're led by the Yearling Fund. We raised about $2 million that has sustained us over that last few years to seed the business, to help us grow and help us validate the business model. And we've done that, and we're very proud, and that's really why we're here to talk about what our next steps are. Taking the validation of this marketplace with several enterprise companies and a fairly good monthly recurring revenue stream, and parlay that and leverage that into further rounds, A, B, and C rounds in the next coming years to help us get to different countries, help us get to different company sizes, and really spread out the depth and breadth of our product offering as well as demographics of our customer base. So readyanp is poised for that next round and that next level of growth.
I don't love tech just for tech's sake. I have always loved tech for what it has allowed me as a human to do. And so readyanp from a product standpoint really is this marriage between my love of talking and love of people and connecting them, and the connection medium really is mobile. It's the really new unifying platform. We tell people in the interview process, look, you got to love people and you got to love tech. It doesn't matter if you're on our sales and account management team, but the same is true if you're one of our engineers or developers. We are a very, very collaborative company. We think together, we debate together, we argue together, we think about how do we make this better, because ultimately it's not about, trying to prove someone's right or wrong. We care deeply about making sure that the product is the best of what it is, because if we don't, people will stop using it.
What I love is the communication piece. As a sales and marketing guy, I love messaging. I love engagement, and it was very appropriate so that, this point in my career that I was able to take the passion for messaging, the passion for engagement, the passion for response and action, and bring that to the private mobile product that we have today. And when we think about what we do, it's not a financial product, it's not, we're actually allowing employers for the first time to make a connection and an engagement with their employee base. And when you do that, you then can start layering on the workflow and the cross-functional things you want to get to them. But the foundation of all of that is basically like inventing email in 1970s or 1980s and layering everything from there. That's where we are today. So I couldn't be more ecstatic about it. I couldn't be more passionate about it. And we're very happy to be where we are. We are starting in Mexico in January. We have people in Saudi Arabia who are using readyanp and sending Arabic text back and forth to their employee bases, and some very large government contractors. So in 2015, 2016, we can't imagine that slowing up. We will have hopefully the wind at our back and be able to not only continue our growth internationally and globally, but also with the enterprise base set. They're not the most innovative or early adopters out there. So as they realize that we can build tremendous operational efficiencies for them, we are going to see tremendous growth. We will probably double our employee base this year and raise one single round of funding, and I see that happening probably for the next several years. And as a software as a service company, profitability is not so much what we're after as much as user base. We have a tremendous user base with some of the highest monthly active user rates in the country for all software as a service companies. So think about the Twitters of the world or the Facebooks of the world. So we're up there from a metrics perspective with some of the biggest and best and brightest, and we're going to continue to expand on that.
We have had tremendous growth this year, largely due to serving a market need that nobody else is serving. We have a very innovative team that is meeting clients' needs based on their requests. We have unbelievable potential, and we have a startup culture for a global company. And we work for a pretty good guy.
You can get your bonus now, Amy.